So, good morning. Uh, the previous class we have discussed about some problems related to time response analysis, and it is coming under tutorial sheet number 6. And we will try to follow and continue the same. Remaining two more problems are there. And as I have already said, uh, I have shared both the question as well as the key in your Google Classrooms. And meanwhile, you kindly tell me whether my slides and audio is clear. You can unmute and say whether my slides and my audio is clear. Okay, sir. Right. So let me continue that. Yeah, please. Thank you. Let us continue the problem, fourth problem, and I will start with the given data. What is the given data? First, the unity feedback system is provided. So the given data starts from h of s is equal to 1, and they have given you open loop transfer function. Open loop transfer function g of s is provided k divided by s into s plus 10. Zeta is provided. Zeta is equal to zero point 0.5. The damping ratio is 0.5. What are they asking for? They are asking for what is the value of k. So find what is k first. Then once you find k, you will have your own transfer function. With zeta, you can find what is the omega n. Then you have to find what is omega n. Then try to find the settling time, peak overshoot, and peak time for, and one more data provided is R of s is equal to 1 by s, that is your unit step signal. You are supposed to find settling time for 2% and 5%, maximum peak overshoot in percentage, and peak time. Any doubts from the problem? Any doubts what we have interpreted from the given statement of problem? Yes, the given data is clearly mentioned. The given data is clearly mentioned. Unity feedback by means h of s is equal to 1. Open loop transfer function g of s is provided k by s into s plus 10. Zeta damping ratio is provided. Zeta is equal to 0.5. Unit step input is also provided. So R of s is equal to 1 by s. They are asking you to find the gain k in the transfer function, and thereby you are trying to find what is settling time, peak overshoot, and peak time. Any doubts up to this point? Hello? Someone can unmute and say no doubt. Okay, so let me continue in doing that. The ultimate aim is only if I know omega n and zeta, I can find the settling time, peak overshoot, and TP. Okay, with zeta known, I can find MP, maximum peak overshoot, but to find TS and TP, I have to go for omega n. To calculate omega n, I should know what is k first. So let me continue with that. So G of s is provided as k by s into s plus 10, and h of s is equal to 1. So I go for a closed loop expression of a general second order form, which not a general first order second order form. I'm trying to give you the general form of a closed loop transfer function notation. Since it is assumed to be negative feedback, I put a plus here, g of s by 1 plus g of s h of s. So if I substitute that, numerator divided by denominator plus numerator into feedback. So I can get k by s squared plus 10s plus k. Is that okay? Or simply I can substitute it and I will probably get it. What is that? I will get it k by s squared plus 10s divided by 1 plus k by s squared plus 10s. Okay, this is what your g of s is, and your h of s is going to be there. And finally, you will get this one. Okay, if you substitute all these things, you will get this one. So, in general, we already know the general form of a characteristic equation. What is the general form of the characteristic equation? The denominator polynomial is s squared plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n squared. Okay, but what we have s squared plus 10s plus k from here. Okay, so if you compare these two, equation, let us say first equation and the second equation, compare 1 and 2, we can write it like omega n squared is equal to k, which implies omega n is equal to square root of k, and 2 zeta omega n is equal to 10. Okay, the coefficients are compared. 2 zeta omega n is equal to 10, and already you know what is the representation of omega n. So I can write the omega, zeta is already provided, no? So zeta is provided as 0.5. So I can write omega n is equal to 10 divided by 2 into zeta. Zeta is 0.5. So I will get it like omega n is equal to 10. If omega n is equal to 10, then k is equal to what? K is equal to omega n squared, which is equal to 100. So my C of s by R of s can be written as 100 divided by s squared plus 10s plus 100. And what is first asked? I want what is 100, what is k? So k is found. Any doubts up to this point? Any doubts you have up to this point? So I have derived the format of second order, format of a general closed loop transfer function. Then from the closed loop transfer function, I have compared it with the general form of second order transfer function, denominator polynomial, or I can say characteristic polynomial. From that, I have found what is zeta is already provided and omega n is obtained. From the omega n, the relation of k is being found. So k is equal to 100 is the first idea what I get. From that, I am supposed to find what is the remaining settling time, then your peak overshoot and your peak time. So with the known values of zeta is equal to 0.5, omega n is equal to what is that? Omega n is equal to 10. I am supposed to find settling time Ts. Then Ts for 2% tolerance band is, what is the formula? 4 divided by zeta into omega n. So 4 divided by 0.5 into 10. So 4 divided by 5, which is equal to 0.8 seconds. So this system will settle when the tolerance band is 2%. This will settle down at 0.8 seconds. For a 5% tolerance band, it is going to be 3 divided by zeta into omega n. So 3 divided by 0.5 into 10. So 3 divided by 5, which will give you 0.6 seconds. Much faster it will settle down because the tolerance band is a little wider, 5%. So it will settle down little faster. Then maximum peak overshoot, MP percentage is equal to e power minus zeta pi divided by square root of 1 minus zeta squared into 100. So e power minus zeta is 0.5 pi divided by square root of 1 minus 0.5 squared into 100, which is equal to 0.163 into 100. If you have a calculator with adjacent to you, you try to verify that you are getting 0.63 for this formula. First find this relation, then go for e power value, you will get 0.163. Someone can verify it. So it is 16.3 percentage. People can verify it and tell me whether you are getting the same answer. The third one, what is required to be found is peak time. TP is equal to pi divided by omega d. Pi divided by omega d. Pi divided by omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta squared. So pi divided by your omega n is 10 square root of 1 minus zero point 0.5 squared. Probably I am getting it like 0.362 seconds. At 0.362, the value reaches the maximum value. Okay, the magnitude reaches the maximum. Okay, that's what you call it as a peak time, when the system reaches the maximum value. That is, if this is your if this is your response, let us say, and if it is 2% or 5%, okay, your settling time is depending upon that, and the peak time TP is equal to 0.362 and 1 unit step. This is your C of t, and this is your t. So at 0.362, okay, it reaches the maximum value, and the maximum percentage is difference is 16.3 percentage, and probably the settling time may be at this point, maybe a 0.6 or a 0.8, depending upon whatever the tolerance limit is being chosen. Okay, if you are choosing 2% tolerance band, then you have 0.8 seconds, and if it is a 5% tolerance limit, you got 0.6 seconds. Any doubts here? Anybody have verified that percentage peak overshoot, maximum MP? Hello? Any doubts here? We have found only three time domain specifications, right? What is that? Settling time, peak time, and peak overshoot. Any doubts? These problems are okay. You can do only if you remember that formulas, which we have discussed in the previous classes. Hello? Any doubts here? No doubt. Okay then. Okay then. We will move to the next problem. The last, which is the fifth problem. This is a little different from whatever we have discussed so far, and kindly go through the statement of the problem. An open loop transfer function of a unity feedback system is given. So initially the given data provides you an idea. This is unity feedback, and we assume it is negative. Okay, negative unity feedback. So you have h of s is equal to 1 here. Okay, and the open loop transfer function is said to be k by s into st plus 1, where k and t are positive constants. What factor should be the amplifier gain k in such a way that it has to be reduced, so that the peak overshoot of the system is varying from 75% to 25%. To get 25% of the to reduce the available peak overshoot to 25% from 75%, what should be the k value chosen? That is what the question is asking. You are provided with some data, okay, and you are not given with k and t. But what is the question asking? Find the value of k in such a way that the available 75% of the peak overshoot MP is reduced to 25%. Is that okay? Is that okay? So first try to find what is the relation between the peak overshoot and the k value. Okay, what is the relation between, or you have to find what is the relation between the peak overshoot MP, percentage MP, and k. Okay, for both the cases 75 and 25. Then we have to find the relation between this 75 and 25 in such a way that you have to take a ratio between them, and you have to find the value of k. First keep k value to be k1 when it is 75, K2 as when it is in 25, then find the relationship between these two. Okay, you will be able to get the result. Let us try this. Let us try this problem. I will first write down the data first. So G of S is equal to K by S into ST plus 1. That's your open loop transfer function. H of S is equal to 1. And they have given different values for not exactly the value, percentages. From 75 to 25 percentage, they are asking the value of K, okay, value of K to obtain this reduction from 75 to 25. 75 percentage 25 percentage reduce பண்ணணும்னா என்னுடைய K value நான் என்ன choose பண்ணணும்னு கேக்குறாங்க. Okay, so as usual, first find what is the closed loop transfer function. C of S by R of S is equal to, as usual, G of S divided by 1 plus G of S H of S. Then substitute it. You will get it like S squared plus S, S squared T, okay, S squared T plus S plus K, okay, this is what you get. Now you can take this T outside, so in such a way that you can have it as the same notation or the parameter available or the equation to be equivalent to that of the general form. Okay, so I take my T outside, so I will get it like K divided by T into S squared plus 1 by T S plus K by T, or I can write it like K by T divided by S squared plus 1 by Ts plus K by T. So this is my closed loop transfer function for the given problem. Again, it's a second order system and closed loop transfer function for the second order system. But in general, in general, the general form of the second order transfer function will be omega n squared divided by S squared plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n squared. Now you compare these two. Let us say this is 2 equation and this is equation number 1. Now compare 1 and 2, because only if you know the value for zeta and omega in terms of k in particular, you can try to find the relation between the peak overshoot and your k value. So I compare these two, equating the denominator coefficients. Okay, denominator equations coefficients. What I can write? I can write it like omega n squared is equal to k by t, which implies omega n is equal to square root of k by t. Is that right? Also, I can write 2 zeta omega n is equal to 1 by t. And already you know the relation of omega n. So zeta is equal to 1 by t into 2 into omega n. So 1 by t, or I can write 2t square root of k by t. Still I can reduce it. Zeta is equal to 1 by 2 into square root of t into square root of t into square root of k divided by square root of t, because t can be written as root t into root t, and I can split this k by t, root of k by t, as square root of k by square root of t, so this gets cancelled. So I will get it like 1 by 2 square root of kt. So I have my zeta value and I have my omega n value. Now let me write my formula for peak overshoot. Maximum peak overshoot MP is equal to e power minus zeta pi divided by square root of 1 minus zeta squared into 100 probably. So okay, I will keep it as it is. Okay, let me take it out this percentage. Otherwise I have to put 100 there, right? So this is my peak overshoot formula. Okay, now let me find the relation first. So I will take natural logarithm on ln on both sides, because I have an e power term. I have to eliminate that and try to find what is the relation between peak overshoot and zeta. So I take natural logarithm on both sides. So ln of maximum peak overshoot into ln of e power minus zeta pi square root of 1 minus zeta squared. So I will get it like ln of maximum peak overshoot is equal to, this exponential gets cancelled, I will get minus zeta pi by square root of 1 minus zeta squared. So I take it to the next level. So ln of mp is equal to minus zeta pi divided by square root of 1 minus zeta squared. If I square both sides, what I will get? I will get it like ln of mp the whole squared is equal to zeta squared pi squared divided by 1 minus zeta squared. 1 minus zeta squared. So from this, if I want to know what is the relation between zeta and the other terms available, I will get it like this ln of mp the whole squared divided by pi squared plus ln of mp the whole squared. But I know what is zeta already. What is zeta? We know that zeta is equal to 1 by 2 square root of kt. Previous slide. I substitute that here. I will get it like 1 by 4 kt. 1 by 4 kt is equal to natural logarithm of mp the whole squared divided by pi squared plus ln of mp the whole squared. So if I want the relation between mp and k, because I know I want to find the k value. Am I right or not? To reduce 75% of the peak overshoot, okay, to 25%, what should be the value of k? So I want this entire notation in terms of k. K is equal to. So I write it like, from this I can write k is equal to, the numerator will be pi squared ln of mp the whole squared divided by the other things come to the denominator 4t into ln of mp the whole squared. Now I have a relation between peak overshoot and the k value. I have a relation. Okay, now I can apply my peak overshoot which is provided. Initially, what will be k? What will be k when it is 75 percentage? What will be the k if it is 25 percentage? Then I have to find the relation. So when mp is 75 percentage, or percentage mp is 75 percentage, okay, I treat my k is equal to k1. K is equal to k1. So I can apply that k1 is equal to pi squared plus ln of this mp is equal to 0.75, because 75 percentage is 0.75 the whole square divided by 4 t into ln of 0.75 the whole squared. This is k1. This is k1. If I solve this, I am getting a value like 30.06 divided by t. Okay, 30.06 divided by t. I can substitute the value for pi. I can find ln of 0.75 from your calculator, and I can get the value like this one, 30.06 by t. The same way, when percentage mp is equal to 25 percentage, I can say k is equal to k2, and k2 is equal to pi squared plus natural logarithm of 25.25 the whole square divided by 4t into natural logarithm of 0.25 the whole square, which I get it like 1.533 divided by t. You can verify if you have a calculator adjacent to you. 1.533 by 2 by t. Now I want to know what is the k value. So initially I write like k is equal to k1 by k2, k1 by k2, which is equal to 30.06 divided by t divided by 1.533 divided by t. So k is equal to tt gets cancelled. I will get like 20. So if you choose k is equal to 20, which is normally it is going to be 19.6. So I can round it off to 20. So initially, if you are able to fix your k value nearly 20, probably you can reduce your peak overshoot from 75 percentage to 25 percentage. And this ratio can be altered. Okay, it is not mandatory that every time they may ask you 75, 25. You can change to any value from 60 to 30, or if you want to increase it from 30 to 60. Okay, now you can substitute the value as it is, and you can find the value. Okay, so this is the last problem of your tutorial sheet number 6. Any doubts so far? Any doubts? Any steps I want to you want me to repeat again? Any steps you want me to repeat again? Hello? So I started with the given data, found the relation between k, t, zeta and omega n. Then try to find the relation between MP and K, maximum peak overshoot and K. Okay, so using that formula, I have derived the relation between zeta and MP. Okay, from zeta, I already have a relation between KT and zeta. I substitute that here. So I got a relation between K and peak overshoot. Now for different value of peak overshoot like 75 and 25, I have substituted and I found the value of K to be like this 30.06 by T and 1.533 by T. Now finding out the relationship between these two and K, okay, I got K should be nearer to 20, exactly 19.6, and even that I have minimized that to two decimal points. So I have made a round off from 19.6 can be written as 20. So if you choose K to be near 20, probably you can reduce your peak overshoot MP from 75 percentage to 25 percentage. Any doubts? Hello? Any doubts in these two problems or any other problem you have seen and you have a doubt? You can also discuss now. Any step? I think I have skipped a step here. This point, the relationship between MP and zeta. Okay, if you cross multiply this, if you cross multiply it, you will get it like ln of MP squared minus ln of MP squared zeta squared, the whole squared. Okay, which is equal to zeta. So from that, I will try to group the zeta values and get a relationship like this. Okay, that is the only step I have skipped actually. But if you sit and work on it, you will get this relationship directly. Okay, any doubts? So time response analysis of first order system, then time response analysis of second order system, then time domain specifications and problems in time domain specifications and time response analysis have been done so far in the 3 to 4 lectures, and a few more is required to discuss about steady state error analysis. I think I